Hello, good people, and welcome back to Podcasting the Next Level. I'm Dr. Brad Miller, the creator of PodIndy.com, which is the room you want to be in on November 7th, 2026. That is the place to take your podcast, your life, your business, your income, your impact from wherever you're at to the next level. This event is live and live streamed on YouTube and very affordable. You can get into that room at PodIndy.com. This is episode 5 of a limited edition podcast called Podcasting the Next Level. And we just share a few episodes of the teachings of Cliff Ravenscraft and then also the teachings of Dave Jackson and the teachings of John Lee Dumas, some Hall of Fame level podcasters. Today, we're talking about you need a room, not just a plan. And here's something that I've noticed in my own journey in podcasting in life and even in ministry. I'm a retired pastor, and in talking to other creators. Mindset shifts almost never happen in a vacuum. Now get that one. Hear that one again. Mindset shifts almost never happen in a vacuum. Now, you can do all kinds of stuff on your own. You can journal. You can listen to every episode of a podcast and read lots of books and things like that. You can write affirmations on sticky notes all over your computer screen in office, that kind of thing. You can you could do all that. And that's all well and good. But you can do all those things and still stay exactly the same. That is, not break out of your pattern. If you're doing everything all alone. We're studying the teachings today of Cliff Ravenscraft, who built his entire career around understanding this concept. Some of his most professional and significant professional relationships didn't start with as networking transactions. They started because of shared values. He has a long-term collaboration with Pat Flynn, which eventually evolved into a mastermind group that they called the Green Room Mastermind. And it came out of realizing that they shared a lot of common values around life and business. And Cliff's relationship with Michael Hyatt is another leader and writer and publisher who has called Cliff both a close friend and a mentor. That started because Cliff initially helped Michael launch his very first podcast, and they eventually entered into a collaborative relationship, both personally and professionally. Now, what's underneath those stories? Not, I need to meet more people to get into the algorithm and things like that. No, this is about real relationships, real alignment, real relationships with true values, and many of them can evolve into true personal friendships as well. And it all centers around doing something that's meaningful and impactful and genuine work over a sustained number of years. Now, here's the mindset principle underneath of all of this. It's called a mastermind, or a community of peers committed to a deep relationship and real growth, which is mutually beneficial to all the parties. This is a process. A mastermind relationship accelerates accelerates everyone together. The tide rises for all, and the speed rises for all. And it becomes a way that the mindset effort of your own combines with others in a synergistic way that is both inspirational and accountability oriented. But because your beliefs are fragile in isolation. On your own, your mind can play tricks on you. You can go all kinds of places. You can go down those doom spirals, you know what I'm talking about? Dark places that you can go. And sometimes those dark places, the spiral can get out of control and you can be in real trouble, and they can win out if you let it too. Or you can slide back into old beliefs, which are just not helpful. In the right room with the right people around you, those tests to your mindset shift to the positive can get absorbed differently. In other words, you got other people to bounce things off of. Someone else can remind you of who you are and what you're becoming. Someone else who's maybe further ahead of you down the road, same road, can tell you, hey, this is normal. These are part of the struggles you go through. And someone even kind of behind you, maybe in some of their aspects of their business, maybe saying, hey, I admire what you're doing, what you've done. This is an incredible thing. This is a synergy that happens when you are in relationship, a copacetic relationship, if you will, with other people with a similar place in their life and business as you are. Now, Cliff Ravenscraft is kind of actually formalized this process into the coaching he does through his Next Level Mastermind, which specifically is established for creators who want to pursue meaningful work and continued growth, to become a more of a high level thinker and to have high level accomplishments. And the name itself kind of tells you something, doesn't it? The Next Level Mastermind. He doesn't believe the next level is a solo project. It's something you grow in proximity to people who are already pursuing it, who are already there. So I want to bring us down to something practical for you and I here today, and wherever you're at in your podcasting journey or your creator journey. Growth to the next level is never, if ever, a solo act. It's not just you sitting behind your computer screen or your notebook. It does require proximity, actual ongoing contact with people who are either already operating at a level you're at or greater, or who are encouraging you along the way, and you can also be a source of encouraging them. But the idea is you are pursuing some noble goals, and you are serious about it, or you're committed to it, and you want to do it together. I myself have been a part of several of these groups. That's why I am doing this series of podcast episodes called Podcasting the Next Level. And while I do the event that we call PodIndy.com. I've been in Cliff Ravenscraft's Next Level workshop, found it very helpful, interacted with people there who I'm still in contact with. I'm in Dave Jackson from the School of Podcasting. I'm in that organization. I'm in Podcasters Paradise with John Lee Dumas, have been for about 14 years in that organization. Another great podcaster named David Hooper, I was in his organization called Big Podcast. My friend Cliff Ravenscraft and I, who's also a presenter at PodIndy, we have our own mastermind group that we've composed called the AI Assisted Author. And I've been in other groups with podcasters who are very accomplished. John Stange comes to mind, Jonathan Milligan. But I also have created my own group that I want you to really be aware of, PodIndy.com. PodIndy.com. This year, 2026, marks the 4th year of PodIndy, where a number of podcasters from around the country get together live and in person and in a setting where we spend one day kind of focused on one topic, and then with other people join us online. And I want to encourage you to think about this as your entry point into a mastermind of your own. You come here and you be a part of the live event or the live stream event, which will have points where people can participate with the presenters, and you can be a part of things. One day, just make a commitment that way, PodIndy.com. Now, here's your challenge. I want you to identify a peer group that is part of your world. Whatever your podcast is about, or your mastermind, that could be kind of circle around that thing. Or maybe even just an accountable relationship you could join with a person that you either know or want to get to know, or want to build out a relationship with, and just reach out to them. Reach out to them and kind of probe this question. It doesn't have to be formal. It could just be an informal, friendly call where you both kind of share your wins and your losses or your struggles or the next move. But I want you to actually reach out to one fellow podcaster. And if you need somebody to reach out to, you reach out to me. You can reach out to me at brad@drbradmiller.com, and you can do that. And propose this interaction. Not someday, do it this week. This is so important. This has to do with getting in the room with other people and connecting with them on a personal level. And this is one of the primary ways that you can take your podcast, your life, your business, your finances, everything about your life from wherever you're at right now to the next level, because this is a team sport. Now, the next time we get together here on Podcasting the Next Level, we're going to bring this whole series of podcast episodes where we've been looking at the teachings of Cliff Ravenscraft together and kind of look what we integrate the various episodes we've done and kind of put together a bit of a plan for us to follow. But what it means to take our podcast, our life, our business, our finances, our family to the next level. What does it mean in practice? Once our mindset, our message, our audience, and our relationships are working in the same direction, and you have a certain amount of energy and synergy that comes into this. But it's about being in the same room. So I just want to share again, the room you need to get into, and I really want to encourage you, is happening November 7th, 2026. You go to PodIndy.com, PodIndy.com. That's where Cliff Ravenscraft will be live and in person doing the keynote messages. Dave Jackson will be there in person to make presentations. John Lee Dumas will be presenting via video, and people like Craig Van Slyke will be presenting about AI, among other things. This room is live and live streamed, so you need to go over, and it's very, very, very affordable, and we really want you to be there. You go to PodIndy.com. Hey, thanks for being here today. I ask you to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your friends and others that need to take their life, their business, their finances, and everything about them to the next level. We'll see you here in the next episode of Podcasting the Next Level.